It is time for the Christmas summoning session, and man, this banner is nuts. When it comes to our goals, we want one of everyone at least. Hopefully that means we don't have to do 4 sparks, but who knows what will happen, right? So let's go ahead and jump in. We'll discuss this banner some more, talk about just everything because there's so much to discuss, and then we'll answer some questions as well. Okay, so we're gonna be doing full circles because we want everybody, right? And man, this banner is nuts. Like, I just wanted to sit down and talk to some people about it, so we're probably gonna do that at some point. I don't know whose channel that will be on, but eventually we'll get to that because this banner's just so over the top. It's insane, right? We also got the data mine, so we actually have a lot more information about this banner. So that actually gives us a lot more relevance of how this will impact the meta, which I think it will in a big way. One of the things I really want to discuss is Claude himself. Unfortunately, Claude did not actually get the 3 houses treatment like I thought he would. I 100% expected him to at least have a PRF weapon, if not a PRF skill as well, but he actually did not get that. So he is just coming with a very, very good inheritable bow though. It has this special jump effect where it can essentially automatically activate a Deadeye. So it's very good considering that it's inheritable. But even so, it's definitely not, a PRF skill or a PRF weapon level. So that's kind of a downside there. He does have really good stats though. He has very high attack and speed, which I guess you kind of could have assumed. But yeah, overall, he's still going to be a very good unit, but he's definitely not going to be he's not like Summer Claude, right? He's not at that level by any means. So it's a little bit unfortunate for the Claude fans, even though, obviously when Claude exists, so it's not like you haven't gotten anything this year. The other big thing we have to talk about is skill inheritance, because we actually have the inheritance restrictions for these new skills. And if you haven't noticed yet, these skills are kind of insane. So the first one I really want to talk about is oh my god, let's go. Let's go. That's how we start off a great summoning session. That's amazing. Okay, good IV. Please, good IV. They actually have super bands and everything almost. Neutral. I will take neutral. That's really, really good. I don't know where I put them. Neutral's amazing because plus attack will be their best, I think, because it's their super boon, but I don't really care. Not having a bane is really nice too. So amazing start. Already looking really good. That saves us possibly a spark. Yeah, so when it comes to Yunaka, she has Assassin Strike, and essentially what this is the physical version of Occultist Strike, where you get the damage before combat, and then you get the true damage as well. Now, the thing about Occultist Strike was that it was only inheritable to mages. This one actually has some more lax inheritance restrictions, so this is actually pretty much any physical unit. So axe, lance, sword, beast units, big on the beast units. I'm very happy about that. And so it just means that it's really, really, really good. This is an insane skill to have. And because it comes from Poison Strike 3, it's really easy to duplicate, right? Poison Strike 3 is in the 3 and 4-star pool everywhere. So you can just duplicate this on a rearmed hero and then give this out to a whole bunch of units who would want this. Okay. I didn't even know who this was at first. There's Harden. I mean, I'll take it, right? We're only 3 summons from the last 5 stars, so there's definitely no complaining here. But yeah, Assassin Strike is really, really good. You're gonna want it on a lot of ranged calves, the daggers and bow units. Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay, I mean, it's not focus units, but I don't really oh my god. Wow. Okay. I don't know what I'll use her for. To be honest, I don't really remember what she does, but I do remember her being pretty good at the time. But we all have 2 bubbles fooled. We have 3 5-stars in less than 2 circles. That's absolutely insane. Wow. Okay. I'm loving this. But yeah, so it's gonna be good on a lot of units. I also think it's just good on a lot of other units, right? You can use this on beast units. That's so cool. I love that because there's a lot of beast units who don't really need a flow skill because they have offensive NFU built into their kits. They don't really need beast sense or anything like that. They really want to just do more damage. So this is a great option for them. But you can also just use it on other nukes as well. I'm kind of tempted to see how good this will be on Legendary Alm kind of, because he already has 25% true damage based on the foe's defense. So this is just another 20%, right? And it stacks. So that's 45% true damage based off the foe's defense. You do you kind of lose that a little bit because physical default was really good on him as well to get through that DR. So I have to see which one's better out of the 2. I think that is a good option for him because he does have DR piercing in his special. I think there's just a lot of options there, right? It's a really, really, really good skill is what I'm trying to say. I'm very excited for it. So if I could get extra Yunakas, if I get more than one, I will probably be sacrificing the second one to duplicate that skill. There's Etier. We also have like Armored Blaze, which, as we expected, is just like inheritable to armors. Like it's just Armored Beacon, but for melee. So not a big deal there. The big one really is No Quarter, which is a new skill that Dimitri is introducing, which is a melee pierceable DR skill. We've been talking about that for a long time, especially when it came to like actually like mages, but we actually got the melee version first. Now the bad part about this is that unlike Assassin's Strike, this is not inheritable to everybody. This is really only available to like very specific unit types, which is like sword, axe, and lance. It looks like no beast. Okay, okay, we're kind of in Pity Break City now. Not that I'm complaining, because like obviously we haven't summoned that much, so it's not bad. Like we're getting 5 stars at an extremely good rate, so not bad. And we got our circles filled, so the next one will be a guarantee, which is cool. Definitely like just like crazy rates right now. But either way, back to what I was talking about. So that being inheritable is really, really, really powerful because it just allows you to have so much more flexibility in your builds. It's technically another 5-star. It's not the one I want. I really wish you were like base Ike or like base Alencia. I've gotten Luke like 10 times this past month. And like arena tickets and all kinds of random stuff. I don't know. I could probably have a plus 10 easily. But yeah, so like right there, it offers a lot of build flexibility. The bad part is that it's not available to beast units, which really, really sucks because beast units really could use this. Like this would help beast units a ton. Combine this with Assassin's Strike and like beast units become way more powerful. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. So like dragons and beasts don't get this, which does limit it a little bit. But I think this is going to be very good on a lot of units, especially a lot of Omni tanks nowadays, because they need to have piercing. So if you don't have piercing in your kit already, this is going to be a great option for that. The one bad side, of course, is that you're not going to have a more... You're going to like... Your defense are going to take a hit because you're not going to be running Battle Astra or Godlike Reflexes. So that is something you have to consider. And it does mean that certain units will use it better than other units. But either way, I think this is like a big deal. It's going to be a big game changer. I really want to sit down and just do some analysis on it to see like who can use it the best other than Dimitri himself, and like how it could change up some cool builds, because I think there's a lot of options, right? There's a lot of options. So that's really exciting as well. We also have like Weaving Fighter, which is just obviously only available to armor, so that's not really that big of a deal. And I'm still not too high on it. I think it can be okay, but I'm still not... I think there's probably gonna be a better skill like soon that will like surpass it, even for Byleth. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see. You know what I mean? You never really know. That's the first thing I really wanted to talk about. The other thing in the update I have to talk about is Hall of Forms. So we actually got the Hall of Forms updated. I'll show it right now in the video. But it is Teleus. Then we got Radiant Dawn Hall of Forms, which I'm always excited about. I know anyone who watches my channel probably knows that. But we got Yoon, which was pretty much confirmed at this point. So I'm happy about that. The only bad thing is that it doesn't seem like she can get Flared Mirror yet. It's not in the pool, which really sucks because that's like her best A skill by a mile. So that's kind of a downside. Ew, it's Hubert. Ew. Maybe that means Edelgard's coming. I gotta look at this positive, right? I gotta look at this as a positive. Ew, I don't like Hubert. I know there's a lot of Hubert fans, but I'm not one of them. Anyways, yeah, so we got him, her. We got Summer Micaiah, who is very cool as well. That's a very nice pickup. I already have her, so I probably won't be picking her up here. We have Summer Alencia, who is, if you don't have Summer Alencia and you're a big fan, this is a great chance to get her a really good kit. You can't get her the Arcane Bow, though, so that's a little bit of a downside. But the last one, Hatari Nyla. Now, Hatari Nyla isn't like a meta unit by any means. Like, if you're not like a hardcore Nyla fan, I wouldn't recommend getting her. But if you're like me and you are a hardcore Nyla fan, then this is like a gold mine, right? Because it is really hard to get all the skills for a Hatari Nyla. You want like Prime probably, or like Finish. You want B-Sense 4, and B-Sense 4 is like ridiculously hard to inherit because you like pretty much have to just give an entire Aider. You can get like Pledge on her now. So like there's so many good skills for Hatari Nyla. So I'm definitely going to be picking her up. Top priority will be Yoon and then Nyla second. So I'm very, very excited for this Hall of Form. I think it's going to be just like incredible. I'm very, very happy with their choices. When it comes to the rest of the update, we did get some other like pack stuff, right? We have like a Volk pack, so like if you need lethality, you can buy it, I guess. But other than that, there's not too much else other than the stats as well, which obviously everybody just has like pretty much amazing stats, which is not much of a surprise nowadays. It's not very often where we get units with bad stat lines. Like, it happens sometimes, but not too often, I'd say. Mostly like on free-to-play units, or like 3 to 4 star emotes. Oh, let's go! Oh my god, yes. Okay, so we got Yunaka. Perfect. Awesome, that's so good. Okay. Plus HP. I mean, that's not great, but that's fine. Probably going to use her in Ether Aid's defense, to be honest. Very glad she's in the game. I'm kind of interested to see how this affects her CYL chances. Everybody's telling me it's not going to affect it at all, but I wonder if it will. Because like a lot of times when the unit does get like a Christmas ult, they don't do that well in CYL because it's so close. But maybe she's so popular it won't matter at all, and like her and Ivy will just sweep. But I'm very interested to find out, and I think she's obviously a very good unit, so excited to see her. Now let's jump into some questions. We got quite a few coming in, and so let's just do that. See if the luck can keep continuing. We're doing really good so far. I'm really happy with how this has gone. Means I don't have to spark 4 times, hopefully. Though who knows, I might go back later and spark because this fodder is nuts. Like this fodder is absolutely insane. Especially Dimitri and Yunaka. Like that fodder is so ridiculously good. I mean, Edelgard has really good fodder too. Don't get me wrong. Like actually, her fodder is really exceptional too. I just don't really need it at the moment. Okay, so let's do our first question, and this one's gonna be from one of our members, Turtlebot. With the refines getting ever closer to the point in the game where we start getting banners with multiple units that have preference weapons, do you think they'll increase the number of refines remixes we get each month, or do you think they'll introduce some sort of new refine mechanic? If it's a new mechanic, what do you think they'll do with it, or what would you like to see them do with it? Okay, so this is an interesting question. I think refines have just been in a bad spot for a long time, and the reason for this is really simple, right? It's because we only get 5 to 7 a month, and the slots are already allotted. And what I mean by that is like every month we get okay, hi Sheena. We get like a GHB or Tempest Trial unit, so that's one of the slots. We get a free-to-play unit most months, so that's one of the slots. And then we also get like a seasonal unit, so that's one of the slots as well, right? So that's 3 slots taken up automatically. And then so that's only leaves really like 2 slots for all the other 5 stars, which we have a billion of, right? We're really far behind on refines. And then the months we get 7 refines are typically remix and refines. So those are just 2 more legendaries or 2 more mythics like added to the budget of our refines. And because of that, it's so slow for us to get refines. It's like really, really not great at all. I would love if they just added like, I wish that like there was 7 slots every month maybe. And then on some months we got 9 with the refine and remixes. I think that would be perfect. That would help a lot. Because like our pace is just really, really slow. Especially when it comes to seasonal units, because seasonal units back in the day, like, really didn't have preference weapons all that often, right? Like, it was like Valentine's Hector, I think was like one of the first ones to get it. I might be wrong, there might be somebody else, but I think it was like Valentine's Hector. And so the thing is like, it was pretty easy to get through them, because if you did once a month, like, there was not even that many of them. But nowadays, every unit has a preference weapon pretty much, like so many of them, right? Like on this banner alone, there's 4 seasonal units with preference weapons. That's 4 months of refines just from one banner. And so what's happened is like, we are like super clogged up. Like we are so far back, and like units who are older even kind of, right? Like let's say like Duo Corn, Ninja Corn. She's from like what, 2 or 3 years ago now? And her refine is like scheduled for like 2030. So like if her refine is scheduled for like 6-7 years from now, like how are they going to ever get to any of these units, right? So they need to like upgrade that. Hey, it's Resplendent Tiki. They need to like definitely get through that better, because it's really bad right now. And then they also need to like, I don't know, I would love for them to do re-refines. I don't think they'll ever do that because of arcane weapons now. But they're just so slow at it. Like they need to just pick up the pace like a ton. And when it comes to like new refined mechanics, I think there are options. Like they could do a lot of insane things with refines if they really wanted to. The problem is like balancing, like how the problem really, okay, here's the real problem, right? Is that they don't want to make refines too good, because if the refines are too good, you're not pulling on the new units. So it kind of comes down to money, which, you know, what a surprise, right? Okay, so we're at the spark. We already got Yunaka and we already got Viola. So we're absolutely going Dimitri. Dimitri was my top priority just because he's my favorite, right, of the batch. So I had to get at least 1 copy of him. We're going to continue pulling green, though, because I would like to get more than one copy if possible. I would like lots of copies, to be honest. And his art is so good. Oh my god, his art is like top tier. I love it. He looks amazing. There's my boy Dimitri. Just rocking everything. And then we're going to keep going. We're definitely going to at least 2 sparks. I don't think we'll go to 3, but who knows? Maybe we will. I think we'll probably just do 2 for this video, and then we'll do 3 later on. But other way, back to that, yeah, like, so I think they could like add refined mechanics where like maybe you can add an effect to a weapon. But that gets all kinds of crazy. So like imagine if like you could add like slaying to a weapon or like distant counter, like just one effect, right? I think even that would make things just like over the top crazy complex, and it would make it so that like you'd have to read weapons no matter what, right? Anytime a unit showed up with a refine, you would have to read their weapon because you don't know what they have. They could have slaying, they could have like tempo or whatever other effect, right? And so I think for the health of the game, I think that's kind of a slippery slope, even though we're pretty down this far of the slope already. So like, not saying that it's gonna make it much worse, but I think that is something a bit difficult to handle and balance. So I guess we'll have to just see what they do, if they do anything, which I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. Okay, let's move on to another question. This one's pretty simple. This one's going to be from Urshi Believer. And they want to know, would you rather have $100 or 1,000 orbs? Well, considering that I spent more than $100 for this summoning session, and I got less than 1,000 orbs, I would definitely take the 1,000 orbs pretty much every time. Like, there's like, I don't think there's any situation ever where you would get 1,000 orbs for $100. So I would definitely take that. $100 for me isn't, like, it's not a little bit of money, like it's definitely like a lot of money, but it's not like an insane amount for me. I know for a lot of other people, like it's a lot, but I've been like very lucky with my position, so I can afford that, fortunately. But yes, I would definitely take 1,000 orbs. So if they want to make that pack where it's $100 for 1,000 orbs, I will buy it like instantly. So sign me up, IS. Okay, our next question is gonna be from Almighty J. What the hell is going on with this Shigure? That's like a billion. I'm telling you. I am telling you, summoning is rigged. Like, they are definitely like, how many Shigures have I gotten? Somebody in the comments tell me, because I'm not going to go back and count. Anyway, this question is from Almighty J. What online sources would you recommend for people to use on how to build characters for the different game modes, or general how to build characters for like PvP game modes or PvE? So, unfortunately, a lot of the online resources have kind of faded. We used to have like Game Press, which didn't have the best builds, but it was something, right? Like it gave you an option, and sometimes their builds were pretty good. But now that's gone, so like I think your best options are really just YouTube videos, which is kind of rough because it's hard to get videos out for every unit, right? And also not only that, like because skills come out so quickly, a lot of the builds get outdated, or there are now better builds available, so that's kind of rough. But if you are looking for like that, I would just recommend Phoenix Master. He's typically the best at putting out videos for almost every banner. I know he's been a little bit behind lately, but like that's typically where I'd go for like build advice, because he usually gives like a plethora of builds for all different types of situations. That's usually the best. Oh, it's Spray Ball. I don't need you. I have you at like plus 20, but that's cool to see you. I wish you were base Olm. I don't have base Olm at plus 10. But there's Brave Olm. Okay. Theology also does some as well. He doesn't do every banner, but he does do some. So that's definitely a place to check out, especially like the mythics and like the legendaries he usually covers. So that's a good place to check those out for builds. But yeah, unfortunately, like the resources we've had have definitely dwindled a bit, and it's not easy to make those videos. Those videos take a lot of time and effort. Like Phoenix Master puts in a ton of work to make those videos. I don't think people understand how much just time it takes to actually put all those assets together. So, like, kudos to him. Hey, let's go. Got another copy of Byleth. Perfect. I don't know if I need more than 2 copies. I think 2 copies is pretty much where we want to be. Plus attack. Perfect IV. Now we can do the merge, and they're set. So I think maybe we stop pulling red. Maybe, yeah. I think maybe we stop pulling red. I really need Edelgard for sure. That's the next spark, though. Like, no matter what, we'll get Edelgard from the spark. I would like to get 2 copies of her because I'm greedy. I'd also like 2 copies. I like 2 copies of like everybody pretty much. But we'll go with what we get. Yeah, let's move on to another question from Desensitized Muffin and Celestial17. These questions are kind of similar, and they want to know, do you think defensive skills will ever be on par with offensive skills? So far this book we only got Gambit and Counter Roar for defensive skills, and they are still easily pierceable. And then Celestial wants to know, how do you see them implementing skills or units to deal with the insane offensive threats, lately to balance tanking and nuking? Okay, so this is an interesting question because tanks and nukes are kind of hand in hand, right? The more powerful the tank is, the more powerful they have to release nukes so they can deal with those tanks. Oh, it's Edelgard. I mean, I really like this art, and I love this unit, but I don't really know what I'd use her for, to be honest. I'll take it. Why not? More 5 stars. So like they kind of go hand in hand. So like the more tanky units come out, the more powerful nukes come out, and back and forth. And right now the nukes are definitely winning by quite a large margin. I would say that Duo Byleth is definitely a sign of how powerful tanks can be. Like this unit is busted, like insanely busted in my opinion. Hey, I'll definitely take this. My Lysithea is not plus 10 yet, so this is amazing. But I don't know what they're gonna do, to be honest, because like, do you add in defensive skills that give flat damage reduction? Because that's really scary. And the problem with that is like, it gets to the point where like, if you don't have the newest nuke, you're not even killing that tank anymore, which is really bad. And that's why Bridal Catcher was kind of like a very important part of the meta, because she was the ultimate free-to-play balancing tool, essentially. I know she herself isn't free-to-play, but all you have to do is get one copy of Bridal Catcher, and before you could like take a nuke who was like not the best nuke, but like a good nuke, and they could kill the best tanks in the game because, you know, triangle attack was so broken. But now they're adding a lot of damage reduction that works against brave attacks. They're also adding ways to turn off Catria. And so because of that, we're in a situation again where like things are a bit scary. Where like, do they make tanks so good you can't kill them again? And I was thinking about this a lot actually, because I kind of want to make a video on it. And I think everything goes back to Hardy Fighter. I think Hardy Fighter actually like is responsible for most of the problems with power creep for a while now. At least when it comes to nukes and tanks. Hardy Fighter came out and it was just so over the top busted that like it just made armors like nigh unkillable. And because of that, they had to put out like ridiculous nukes, like absolutely over the top nukes to counteract that. And then it just kind of like spiraled out of control in my opinion. And so I think Hardy Fighter is like definitely one of the biggest culprits of our current situation. And it's definitely a mistake. They should not have made that skill. Like they should have just made it so that it only activates your defensive skill like once instead of twice. Like it's so stupid. But yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna have to do some ridiculous stuff. They're gonna have to add like non-pierceable DR or like more scal effects or more. I don't even know. Like I honestly don't even know. Like tanks are really in not the best spot other than Duo Byleth. I think Duo Byleth is in a pretty strong spot right now, just because they have pretty much everything, right? Like they have like literally everything. Okay. I mean, I'll take Shez. Shez has Oath, which is not the best fodder anymore, but still really good. Let's res. Filling up those bubbles again. Okay, our next question is from Gerald Land, and they want to know, what would Triangle Adept 4 need to be meta? Triangle Adept 4 is like a really interesting skill because it really wants to play against the triangle, like, you know, the color triangle. And the color triangle hasn't really mattered in such a long time. And even if it did, like hurting yourself against other colors is a big deal nowadays. Like that would just be like kind of just a nerf. So like to be meta, that would need to have like Triangle Adept like extra. Like maybe they take out the weakness. Like maybe it makes you like it just gives you 40% bonus against your color advantage. It would have to have stats, like a lot of stats. And then it would also maybe need to have like feud built into it. I think that'd be kind of cool if it had feud. So it just turned off like all other abilities of the unit you're fighting if you have color advantage. But maybe that would be good enough, but I don't even know. Like maybe it would even have to go even farther. Like maybe you'd have to have like, I don't know, what would you need? Like true damage against that color? I don't even know. It would need to be ridiculous, like completely ridiculous. It's just a very outdated skill, unfortunately. Like the whole design of it is very outdated. Okay. Our next question is going to be from Not Zeke Shine. And they want to know, what is your top 3 favorite animes? Best of luck with your summons. Thank you. Top 3 favorite anime. That's a hard one. I've watched way too much anime. Not so much now. I've stopped watching anime for the past couple of years, I'd say. I mostly read manga now. I've converted to being a manga reader pretty much exclusively. I've watched like 400 animes in my life. I've watched a lot. So it's kind of difficult to say which ones are my top 3. And also, this would not consider manga, right? Because like, if we're talking about manga, One Piece is number 1 by far. But the One Piece anime is not as good as the manga. Like, absolutely it's not. The adaptation has gotten way better recently. But there's a large section of One Piece which is like really drawn out and just not the best. So I don't know. It's not 1 at least. Number 1 would be Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It's Gustav. I hate Gustav. You don't know this. I have like a plus 20 Gustav somehow. I only summoned for him 1 time, and somehow I have like a plus 20. So go away, Gustav. I don't need your fodder anymore. Yeah, number 1 is Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I'm sure a lot of people haven't heard of that, or if they have, they haven't watched it at least. It's an anime from 1988. It's very old. Okay, that was mean. It's older. How about that? It's like 110-ish episodes, and it's about a space opera kind of, not like a singing opera, but like a drama, right? And it's essentially about 2 different warring federations, like one based off like diplomacy and like a republic, versus like versus one ran by a tyrant, like a dictatorship. It's very, 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 very interesting. It is not for everybody though. It is very heavily like for people who enjoy like politics, not like, not our day politics, but like more general, like, political fights. It has a lot of like space fights, so like lots of spaceships, a lot of strategy in there, and the writing is just like 20 out of 10. The characters feel like real characters. They don't feel like anime tropes. They don't feel like fictional characters. They feel like humans, and the writing is just phenomenal. It's so good. And the other thing is like they do a really good job of because it's a dual protagonist show. There's a protagonist for each side. There's no good and evil. Like there's a little bit, but not really. It's more like morally gray, and you really get to explore that morally gray sense of humanity, right? Like what is really good, what is really right, how do things really work? It's so well written. Like it's if you're into that, definitely check it out. Number 2 would probably be Great Teacher Onizuka, which is like the complete opposite. It's just like a comedy. It's really funny. It's older. It's like in the 90s, I think, or early 2000s. So some of the humor is definitely not politically friendly, I guess is the best way I'd put it now. It's a little bit old school, but like it has a heart of gold. Like it is all about friendship and like courage and like helping people. And he's like one of the best characters ever. I love Onizuka. And then number 3, I don't know what I put number 3 at. Like maybe it's One Piece, or maybe it's like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, or like Steins Gate's really good. Code Geass is really good. Sword of the Stranger's really good. Detective Conan, I love Detective Conan. So I think number 3 is a little bit more of a hard one to pull because there's just so many good anime. But one of those probably. That's probably where I'm at. Okay, we're almost done here, I think. I don't know, do we keep going? Just go down to 0 orbs, maybe? We've had, like, pretty good luck so far, I'd say. We've gotten a lot of pity breaks, but, like, our rate for 5 stars has been insane. Yeah, I think we'll keep going. Why not? We have, like, 120 orbs. We spark Edelgard here. It's hard to say. I was hoping to get Edelgard earlier, because I really don't need 2 copies of Edelgard as much. Okay, so we'll go into the Spark, and we're going to get Edelgard, because we don't have her yet. And we need at least 1 copy, because she is insane, and I'm going to have so much fun Gale Forcing and hidden running with her. So, very happy to get her. And also, I really like her art. I think her art's really, really good. She looks like just like, I don't know, like, she doesn't look like normal Edelgard where she's mad. She looks like really just happy, which is, it's nice. I like that. Okay, put that there. We'll keep going for a bit. We'll see if we hit the... I don't think we'll hit this 3rd spark. I don't think we have enough orbs, but... I told myself I was going to stop summoning red and I forgot. I don't think I need more than that on Byleth. Let's do all the other colors, I think. It's like 3 orbs, though. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Our next couple questions are going to be from members. So these are like from the member Discord, essentially. If you want to join that, you definitely can. We kind of just have like completely random conversations there that just go off in all kinds of different directions about all kinds of weird stuff. But it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun there. So this one's going to be from Sensation. And we were talking about World of Warcraft. So he wants to know, here's my question for your summoning video. Rank the World of Warcraft opening cinematics. So if you haven't played World of Warcraft, because it is an older game now, it came out in 2004, there's a lot of cinematics, and some of them are really, really good, and some of them are really, really bad. So let's see how quickly I can rank these. Okay, so the best cinematic from WoW would have to be Wrath of the Lich King, of course. You know, Arthas just being the best character in the whole universe. So that's awesome, love that one. After that, I think I'd put Burning Crusade, maybe? Burning Crusade or Cataclysm. I liked both those cinematics, even though I didn't really play Cataclysm. And then I would do Warlords of Draenor, which is a really good cinematic, but I don't really care about works that much, so it's kind of a bit lower. Then I do the OG WoW cinematic, which I think was really well done, especially for the time. After that, I do Legion, because that one's pretty good. Then we do BFA, because BFA is just like, it's just like them having like a full-out war, so that was interesting. Then we get to the more new ones, right? And I think the new ones suck. So we have the War Within cinematic, which is the newest one, where it's just like Thrall and Anduin talking. That was trash. I hated that. It was so boring. It was so stupid. I did not want to hear about Anduin crying about his PTSD. Like, he is just, ugh, I do not like Anduin. After that, I'd put Dragonflight. Dragonflight is really bad too. It was just boring and dumb. And like I don't know, like it was just so stupid. I didn't like it at all. And then Mist of Pandaria, because why are pandas in WoW? And then lastly, the last cinematic, the one I think is the worst, would be Shadowlands, because Shadowlands, like the other ones were bad because they were boring. I didn't like them. Shadowlands was bad because it was just like they threw all the lore out the window. They were just like, okay, the Lich King, who's supposed to be like one of the most powerful beings in Azeroth, is now getting beat by Sylvanas because she made a pact with the devil, pretty much. Like, it was just so stupid, and I hated it. I hated it so much. I remember seeing it for the first time, and I was like over the top tilted. So definitely the worst cinematic in my opinion, even though like the looks of it is cool. The actual lore is just dumb. So so for anyone who actually has played WoW, or like still plays WoW maybe, that's my rankings. There's a Maria. Okay, our next question is gonna be from Wacky Warrior, and they want to know, what is your favorite Christmas Knights pair? So I had to ask them to explain this to me, because I guess what that means is like it's the archetype of like Cain and Abel, right? Like the double calves. So I looked up like all the people who fit into this archetype supposedly, and they have like a lot of like weird stuff in there. Like, they have like May and Bowie, which I don't really think they fit into that archetype, but if they did, they would be my favorite for sure. So if we're talking about just like the actual cab units, my favorite would probably be Kent and Sane, because they were like my first introduction to that archetype. And I also think like they're really funny together, right? Like Sane's hilarious, like how he's a womanizer, but he's also kind of bad at it. And like Kent being super serious, so they kind of play off each other really well. That's probably my favorite. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Because like they kind of stretch it a bit. They also have like Lucas and Forsyth, and then Saizo and Kaze in here, and I don't really think they really fit that archetype, like maybe like personality wise, but like definitely not like class wise, right? Like they're not the same, they're not calves, so I don't really feel like that fits. But yeah, I think probably just like the OG for me at least, right? Kent and Sane. I'm glad they got into the game finally, because it did take them a while to get in. I think they got in like what, last year, but I don't really I don't really love their weapons all that much. Sane's interesting with like the rallying, getting another action, which does definitely make him like one of the better Ruse 4 users, but like I'd rather just use like Heather or like or Haether if I had the chance, right? Haether's really good at it. There's Noe. But yeah, I don't really know. Like, I'm not like the biggest, I don't know. Do I like Cavaliers? There's some I like, but I think I'm more of like, I've always gravitated more towards like Sword Masters, Heroes. Whenever they have Lance units, because Lance units used to be pretty rare back in the day, right? There wasn't that many. Like, I think, hey, let's go. Perfect. Very glad to see you. That means we can actually duplicate that assassin's spotter, which would be very nice. That's a bad IV, so you are the one that's going to die 100%. That's usually more the type I like. I like some mages, but not all of them. And then obviously I like a lot of lords. I like a lot of lords, or like main characters at least, right? Like Ike, who's not really a lord, but oh my god. Let's go! Wacky Warrior brought the luck. Holy crap. Speaking of cabs. Ooh, good IV too. Perfect IV, which means we can merge and get that Bane taken out, and he'll be awesome. I mean, we'll keep going. Why not, right? Got some luck. But, let's talk about next month's banner, I guess. So next month, we're getting New Year's. It's not even... I think technically we will know who is on the New Year's banner by the end of this month, actually. Because they typically release the update, like, the 29th or something. Like, right at the end of the month. So we'll know who it is, because they go on vacation. Japan gets, like, a whole week off of vacation for New Year's, because they're better than us. Or, they're better than the United States, I guess I should say. We only get one day. So, like, it's so much cool. It's so cool, too. I went to Japan during New Year's, and it's, like, one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. Like, it's so much fun. So, they'll be doing that. They'll be having a blast. So, we'll probably get that early. And when it comes to New Year's, we know that next year is the year of the dragon. And I think that's why they, like, pushed the dragon banner from Halloween until now, or until New Year's. That's what I'm assuming, at least. And if that is the case, it's really interesting to see who will be there, right? Because I made the joke, like, we would get, like, double Corins, like a duo Corin with male and female. I don't think that will actually happen, but you never know. And then obviously, there's some other options as well, like a Lear and Vale. They're both dragons, so that's an option. We have, you know, there's a lot of options when it comes to dragons. Personally, I really want Tellius characters more than anything. I know that a lot of people don't like the Tellius dragons taking over Halloween that they did for a few years, but we didn't get to finish the family, and I think that's just wrong. Like, we need to finish the family. We don't have Nasir yet. Nasir needs to be added into the game. He's the most important. He's the second most important out of the batch, I'd say, somewhere around there. He's very important. The other character I would really like to see is like Rajayan, who is not playable in any of the Tellius games. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's not playable. And so him being playable in Fae would be so cool, and his sprite would be so awesome. I would love that. So if they could add him and Nasir, I'd be very happy. Even if they aren't like the main units on the banner, which they probably wouldn't be, I would love that. If they put Degnicia on there, like a duo Degnicia or harmonic Degnicia, that would be really cool. I think he deserves like way better representation in this game. He's like one of the most powerful characters in Tellius, and they gave him a Halloween alt with no PRF. It's like he should be a mythic. Like he is a real mythic candidate. So I wish they would have done that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Like, what dragons do you want to see on the New Year's banner? I think there's a lot of options. I was talking to Tactic, and Tactic wanted to know Arthur. Huh. You are not who I wanted to see. I don't know if you have good fodder or not. Let's see. Not really. No, it's pretty crap. Okay. Anyway, Tactic was saying that they wanted Noe and Na, which would be really cute. That would be a really cute duo. I could see that happening possibly. Noe's pretty popular. Na, not. Hey, speak. Oh my god. Is this a coincidence? I feel like the game hears me. Like it somehow has like. I'm not on my phone though, so my phone can't hear me. I don't know. That was weird. That was like really weird. It wasn't. Okay, so I was doing the. Which banner was it? It was the legendary banner with Fallen Byleth. I guess it was a mythic banner with Kvaser and Golveg. And every time I talked about Satachi liking Fallen Female Byleth, I got a Fallen Female Byleth. And then when I was editing it, I was doing some more summonings. And when I got to the section where I was editing the part where I answered that question, I got another Fallen Female Byleth. So I don't know, like it's weird. Like the game somehow knows what I'm talking about. Not really, I'm not like being conspiracy theory Andy, I'm joking, but like it's just weird. I'm sure it's just a very unusual coincidence. Okay, I think that's gonna be it maybe. Let's see, how close are we to Spark? We need 10 more. It's like what, 50 orbs? Okay, we'll go to the third spark, why not? Okay, let's do these final 10 summons, get the last spark, and then we will call it quits there. Went a little bit farther than I wanted, to be honest, but like, actually didn't really need to. I could have stopped, but I just kept going, because I'm me. I mean, to be honest, like, this banner has, like, insane value. Like, it's not very often you get 4 sparks, first of all. Second of all, there's not very often you get a banner with this much power creep. Like, all these units are insane. And the best part, in my opinion, by far, is that it's available to everybody, right? Everybody gets to spark, which is how it should always be. The fact that Fate Pass players, like, get exclusive sparks is so dumb, in my opinion. Especially when you consider, like, the standard for pretty much most gacha games is, like, there's a spark for every, like, I think almost every, like, recent gacha has now introduced sparking in some sense. So I feel like they should just do that. But, like, obviously, I'm just saying, like, this banner is really good to summon on. Now, like, of course, we do get the New Year's banner, like, soon, like 2 weeks. So you can definitely wait it out if you want to. I would recommend that if you're free to play. 2 weeks will not, like, break the game for you. But yeah, I'm excited to try out all these units. I really want to do, obviously, Edelgard with, like, Gale Force and Hit and Run. I think she's going to be really good in SD as a save unit. I was talking to Joel and DTM about this. And, like, she herself, her kit really isn't built for far saving all that much. She has, like, the near save special, which is, you know, helps her do that. But the thing is like, she doesn't have a lot of the other effects you need. But in SD, everything dies anyway, right? Like, your far save dies pretty much in the first combat usually. And so why not have a save who is super mobile, right? Built-in charge, meaning your openings are, like, ridiculously easy. You can get really good positioning really quickly. You also have extra movement, so that means you can move around, much more flexibility. And the cool thing is, like, once you get into formation, on turn 2, Edelgard not only acts as a save, but she also acts as a threat because she has charge, which means, like, if they don't have a strong frontline unit, she can just go in and kill things, right? And then if she dies, it's not that big of a deal because she's kind of already done her job, right? She can go in, kill something, and engage. They have to deal with her now, or she starts killing things again because she has that Gale Force. And then the rest of your team can, like, just come in and swoop in and kill things. And so she's kind of like Golveg in that sense, where, like, she becomes a threat you have to deal with. I think she might be good in SD. Obviously haven't confirmed anything yet. I haven't played with her, but I think she could be very interesting. Okay, there's the Klein. And our last one. Can we get a Yunaka on the last pool? Will we have how many so far? I don't even know. 2, I think. Right? I don't know. It is Forest. Okay. Let's do our third spark. We'll call it quits here. I don't think I really need to go to the fourth spark ever. Byleth is very good, but I have them at +1, so there's not really much of a need. I don't really like the fodder all that much on them either. But Yunaka has really good fodder, so we'll pick up this Yunaka. There she is. Kind of surprised we didn't get more engaged characters. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but, like, they just put, like, the most popular one, and I was like, that's good enough. Okay, that is going to be my summoning session. Overall, it went really well. We got an absolutely ridiculous amount of 5 stars. They weren't all on banner, which kind of sucks a little bit, but honestly, we got everything we pretty much wanted. We got multiple Dimitris, multiple Yunakas, multiple Byleths. We only got the wood Edelgard, but that's fine. We can just, like, do some, like, you know, trait fruits and she'll be good. So now I'd love to hear from you. How did your summoning session go? If you did summon on this banner, who were you going for? Were you going for everybody like I was? How many sparks did you go for? Like, just make sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know all about your summoning session because I'd love to hear about it. As always, I'd like to thank all my members for their constant support. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. This has been Oblivion. I'll catch y'all later with more Fire Emblem Heroes.